Hollywood has given us unforgettable performances, legendary directors, and box office records that stood for decades. But sometimes it's not the script or the story that people remember most. It's the dress. A single gown, worn on a single night, in a single scene, can outlive the film itself. It can become a headline, a scandal, a piece of museum history, or a Halloween costume that people are still recreating 50 years later. Some of these dresses were built for the silver screen. Others were worn once on a single red carpet and changed fashion forever. Some caused outrage. Some caused history to be made. And one of them, as you'll see by the end of this video, is still considered the single most famous garment ever created for the screen. A dress so iconic that people who have never even seen the movie can still picture it perfectly. From candid movie moments to the most photographed nights of the year at the Academy Awards, these 20 dresses represent nearly a century of Hollywood glamour, controversy, and reinvention. Each one tells its own story about the era it came from, the woman who wore it, and the impact it left behind long after the cameras stopped flashing. Tonight, we are counting down the 20 most iconic dresses in Hollywood history. Let's start the countdown at number 20. Number 20, Zendaya's Valentino skirt and crop top, 2022 Academy Awards. Kicking off our list is one of the most modern entries on this list, and one with a clever piece of fashion history built right into it. Zendaya walked the 2022 Oscars red carpet in a satin, cropped button-down shirt paired with a shimmering, sequined, silver column skirt designed by Valentino. What made the look so talked about wasn't just its sleek, minimalist glamour. It was the tribute hidden in plain sight. The silhouette was widely recognized as a modern homage to Sharon Stone's history-making 1998 Oscar outfit, which we'll get to a little later on this list. It was proof that Hollywood fashion doesn't just make history, it remembers it, and it recycles its best moments in the most stylish way possible. As one of the most fearless dressers of her generation, Zendaya has become known for using the red carpet as a form of storytelling, and this look was one of her most clever chapters yet. Number 19. Marilyn Monroe's hot pink dress. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953. 2 years before her most famous dress moment, Marilyn Monroe was already rewriting the rules of screen glamour. Designed by William Travilla, this vibrant, strapless hot pink gown was worn during the unforgettable Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend musical number. Dripping in exaggerated glamour, oversized elbow-length gloves, and pure showgirl energy, the dress became a visual shorthand for old Hollywood excess, almost overnight. It perfectly captured her character, Lorelei Lee's bold, flirtatious charm on screen. And decades later, it proved so influential that Madonna and Nicole Kidman both recreated the look almost shot for shot in their own music videos and films, keeping the image alive for entirely new generations. Even today, the hot pink gown remains one of the most instantly recognizable costumes ever created for a musical number in film history. Number 18. Audrey Hepburn's Givenchy floral dress, 1954 Academy Awards. Before she became a full-blown fashion legend on screen, Audrey Hepburn was already making history at the podium. Accepting her Best Actress Oscar for Roman Holiday, Hepburn wore an ivory lace, belted floral dress designed by Hubert de Givenchy, the very same dress she had originally worn as her costume in the film itself. It was one of the earliest examples of a star's on-screen wardrobe crossing directly onto the red carpet, blurring the line between character and celebrity in a way that hadn't really been done before. It also marked the beginning of one of fashion's most important collaborations, as Givenchy would go on to dress Hepburn for the rest of her career, both on and off the screen. That partnership would eventually produce some of the most celebrated costumes of the 20th century, including the very dress that tops this list. Number 17, Keira Knightley's emerald green gown, Atonement, 2007. Few costume choices in modern cinema have become as instantly iconic as this one. Designed by Jacqueline Duran, this V-cut emerald green silk gown featured delicate spaghetti straps and a dramatic open back. Worn by Keira Knightley's character Cecilia, the dress became a defining image of the film almost immediately upon release. Sparking countless prom dress and red carpet reproductions, in the years that followed. Its rich, jewel-toned color and fluid, bias-cut silhouette gave it a timeless elegance that felt instantly like a classic, even though it remains one of the newest dresses to make this particular list. To this day, the dress is frequently cited by fashion writers as one of the most influential film costumes of the 21st century. Number 16. Nicole Kidman's red satin gown, Moulin Rouge 2001. From the extravagant theatrical world of Moulin Rouge comes one of the most dramatic dresses ever built for the screen. Costume designers Catherine Martin and Angus Strathy created this larger-than-life, corseted, bustle-backed red satin gown for Nicole Kidman's character, Satine. Every inch of the dress was engineered for maximum drama, from its sweeping train to its intricately sculpted bodice, and it visually embodied the character's fierce, tragic passion at the heart of the film. The gown remains one of the most recognizable and most photographed costumes to come out of a musical film in the last 25 years, and it continues to inspire couture-style red carpet gowns to this day. Number 15. Michelle Pfeiffer's teal slip dress, Scarface 1983. Designed by Patricia Norris, this slinky teal blue slip dress became one of the defining fashion images of the entire decade it was released in. With its plunging neckline, open back, and delicate diamante straps, the dress worn by Michelle Pfeiffer's character Elvira Hancock managed to capture the excess of the 1980s, but did it through minimalist, effortless glamour rather than over-the-top glitz and shine. Even today, that same cool, dangerous silhouette is still referenced constantly by designers and stylists chasing a similar kind of understated luxury, proving that sometimes the simplest silhouette leaves the longest impression. Number 14. Gwyneth Paltrow's pink taffeta gown, 1999 Academy Awards. When Gwyneth Paltrow won Best Actress for Shakespeare in Love, she did it in a dress that instantly became one of the most photographed Oscar gowns of the decade. The bubblegum pink taffeta ball gown, designed by Ralph Lauren, featured a distinctly feminine V-neck silhouette and was paired with a striking diamond choker necklace by Harry Winston. The look was so visually striking and so closely tied to that specific award-winning moment that it remains a constant reference point whenever fashion writers rank the most memorable Best Actress looks in Oscar history. The soft pink hue also stood in sharp contrast to the darker, more subdued tones many stars had favored in prior years, which only made it stand out further. Number 13. Julia Roberts' vintage Valentino gown, 2001 Academy Awards. 2 entries from Julia Roberts make this list, and this one is arguably the more historically significant of the pair. Roberts accepted her Best Actress Oscar in a stunning black and white vintage Valentino gown, featuring a delicate Watteau train cascading dramatically from the shoulders. The moment carried special weight for the designer himself. Valentino has said that seeing Roberts wear his design on that stage represented one of the defining moments of his entire career, cementing the gown's place in both fashion history and film history at the same time. It remains one of the most elegant Best Actress looks of the modern awards season era. Number 12. Julia Roberts' red opera gown, Pretty Woman 1990. Before her Oscar-winning Valentino moment, Julia Roberts wore what might be her single most recognizable dress of all. Designed by Marilyn Vance for Pretty Woman, this brilliant red gown featured an off-the-shoulder sweetheart neckline and elegant draped sleeves, finished off with a pair of long white opera gloves. More than just a beautiful dress, it marked a genuine turning point in the film's story. The exact moment her character, Vivian Ward, completed her transformation into a confident, sophisticated woman. It's a dress so tied to its story that even people who have never seen the film recognize it on sight, and it remains one of the most frequently recreated red carpet and costume looks in modern pop culture. Number 11. Halle Berry's Elie Saab gown, 2002 Academy Awards. This dress belongs to one of the most historic nights in Oscar history, when Halle Berry became the first woman of color to win the Academy Award for Best Actress. She did it wearing a breathtaking Elie Saab gown featuring a sheer, floral-embroidered bodice that gracefully transitioned into a sweeping crimson taffeta skirt. The dress and the moment are now permanently linked in pop culture memory, a perfect marriage between a genuinely history-making achievement and one of the most show-stopping pieces of design ever seen on that stage. To this day, it's regularly named among the greatest Oscar dresses of all time by fashion historians and critics alike. All right, we are officially halfway through the countdown, and honestly, the next 10 dresses are on a completely different level. We've still got a Best Actress gown that became one of the most quoted career-defining fashion moments in Oscar history, a red carpet outfit so unexpected it changed the unwritten rules of award show style forever. And of course, the single most iconic dress in the history of Hollywood is still ahead of us. If you're enjoying this countdown, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now, because you genuinely do not want to miss what's coming at number 1. It's one of the most recognizable pieces of clothing on planet Earth, and there's a very good reason it's saved for last. Let's keep going. Number 10, Nicole Kidman's Chartreuse Dior gown, 1997 Academy Awards. Long before her role in Moulin Rouge, Nicole Kidman made red carpet history in a dress that quietly changed the entire industry. This chartreuse silk gown, featuring intricate chinoiserie-inspired embroidery, was one of the very first pieces John Galliano designed as the newly appointed creative director of Christian Dior. The bold, unconventional color choice divided critics at the time, with some praising its daring artistry and others openly mocking it on live television. But in hindsight, it is now widely credited as the moment true haute couture arrived on the red carpet with real conviction, forever changing how designers and celebrities would collaborate going forward. Number 9. Sharon Stone's Gap shirt and Vera Wang skirt, 1998 Academy Awards. Few Oscar looks have been as quietly revolutionary as this one. Sharon Stone paired a simple white button-down men's shirt from Gap with a purple satin Vera Wang skirt, reportedly pulling the casual shirt straight from her own husband's closet just before the ceremony began. In an era where formal, floor-length gowns were essentially mandatory, this unexpected high-low combination broke nearly every unwritten rule of red carpet fashion. It essentially invented a whole new category of award show style, one that stars and stylists are still borrowing from today, including, as we mentioned earlier in this video, Zendaya's tribute look from 2022. Number 8. Cher's Bob Mackie beaded gown, 1988 Academy Awards. When Cher stepped onto the stage to accept her Best Actress Oscar, she didn't just win an award. She delivered one of the most fearless fashion statements in the show's history. Designed by her longtime collaborator Bob Mackie, this sheer, black, midriff-bearing gown was covered in intricate beadwork from top to bottom and topped off with a towering, dramatic, feathered headdress. It was daring, theatrical, and completely unapologetic, a perfect visual match for Cher's larger-than-life persona, and still one of the boldest looks any Best Actress winner has ever worn on that stage. Number 7. Barbra Streisand's sheer Scossi pantsuit, 1969 Academy Awards. This dress caused one of the biggest scandals in Oscar history, and it wasn't even supposed to be see-through in the first place. Designed by Arnold Scossi, this shimmering black, sequined pantsuit with a white Peter Pan collar was intended as a bold but tasteful choice for Barbra Streisand's history-making, tied Best Actress win. Neither Streisand nor Scossi anticipated how the fabric would react under the bright stage lighting, turning the outfit unexpectedly transparent on live, worldwide television. Streisand herself has said in interviews and in her own memoir that she was mortified when she later saw the footage, but the accidental moment made headlines around the world and turned the pantsuit into one of the most talked-about Oscar looks of all time. Number 6. Björk's Swan Dress, 2001 Academy Awards. Some dresses are beautiful, others are simply unforgettable. Björk's Swan Dress is very much the latter. Designed by Marjan Piasky, this bizarre and completely unmistakable gown was shaped like an enormous white swan wrapped around the singer's body. An outfit so strange and so unexpected that it instantly became one of the most talked about looks in red carpet history. Björk famously completed the performance by dropping ostrich egg props along the carpet as she walked, adding to the theater of the entire moment. Decades later, it's still referenced constantly in pop culture, endlessly parodied, and ranked on virtually every most shocking red carpet moment list ever published. Number 5. Kate Winslet's beaded dinner dress, Titanic 1997. Designed by Deborah Lynn Scott, this red and black empire waist gown is instantly recognizable to nearly anyone who has ever seen Titanic. Featuring layers of flowing chiffon and intricate starlit beading across the bodice, the dress, often nicknamed the jump dress by fans, is worn during one of the film's most emotionally intense scenes, as Rose contemplates throwing herself from the ship. Beyond its role in that unforgettable moment, the dress has become a lasting symbol of the film itself, still instantly recognized by audiences all over the world more than 2 decades after its original release. Number 4. Grace Kelly's ice blue chiffon dress, catching 55. Costume designer Edith Head created this breathtaking, flowing ice blue chiffon gown specifically to highlight Grace Kelly's cool, sophisticated elegance on screen. Every detail of the design, from the soft, pale color palette to the graceful, flowing silhouette, was carefully crafted to enhance her natural poise and refined beauty. It became one of the defining looks of her entire career, and a perfect visual representation of the polished, effortless glamour she would carry with her, all the way from the screen to her later role as Princess of Monaco. Number 3. Vivien Leigh's red ball gown, 1939. Designed by Walter Plunkett, this dramatic burgundy velvet gown, heavily embellished with ostrich feathers and jewels, is one of the most powerful costume moments in the entirety of classic film history. Worn by Scarlett O'Hara to a birthday party in open defiance of the era's rigid social expectations, the dress was designed to serve as a visual act of rebellion, bold, daring, and impossible to ignore in any scene it appears in. More than 80 years after the film's release, it remains one of the most studied, most celebrated, and most frequently referenced costumes ever created for the screen. All right, we are down to our final 2, and these next 2 dresses aren't just iconic within Hollywood. They are 2 of the most recognized pieces of clothing anywhere in the entire world, movie fan or not. Number 2, Marilyn Monroe's white halter dress, the 7-Year Itch, 1955. Designed by William Travilla, this pleated white cocktail dress, with its plunging halter neckline and flowing circular skirt, produced arguably the single most famous image in the history of film. As a passing subway train sends a gust of air rushing up from a grate below, the dress billows dramatically around Marilyn Monroe in one perfectly captured frame, a moment that has been recreated, referenced, and parodied more times than almost any other scene ever filmed. The dress itself has since been auctioned for millions of dollars, and its silhouette remains instantly recognizable even to people who have never actually seen the movie it originally came from. Number 1, Audrey Hepburn's black Givenchy gown, Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961. And here it is, the most iconic dress in the entire history of Hollywood. Created by Hubert Givenchy, this simple, sleeveless black column gown, elegantly paired with a strand of pearls, appears in the very opening scene of Breakfast at Tiffany's, as Audrey Hepburn's character, Holly Golightly, gazes into the window of Tiffany & Co. while eating a pastry on an empty New York street. In its almost shocking simplicity, the dress became one of the single most influential garments of the entire 20th century, widely credited with cementing the little black dress as an essential piece in fashion for good. It has been endlessly referenced, endlessly copied, and endlessly celebrated by designers, historians, and film lovers across generations. Decades later, it remains the single most recognizable dress ever to appear on screen. And honestly, there was never really any other choice for the top spot on this list. And that wraps up our countdown of the 20 most iconic dresses in Hollywood history. From Scarlett O'Hara's fiery red gown to Audrey Hepburn's timeless little black dress, these looks did so much more than simply complete a costume or finish an outfit. They became a permanent part of cinema history itself, remembered just as vividly today as the films, performances, and moments they originally came from. Let us know down in the comments which dress you think truly deserved the top spot on this list. And if you enjoyed this countdown, make sure you're subscribed for more deep dives into the history of Hollywood glamour, fashion, and film.